Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Real Estate with Nicole. I'm your host, Nicole, and I'm thrilled to have you with me today. As we begin a new year, what better time to explore the rich history of real estate in Canada? Together, we'll journey through the past, understand the significant legislation that shaped the industry, and discuss the opportunities and challenges that have emerged over time. My goal is to leave you feeling informed and inspired about the future of real estate in this beautiful country we call home, Canada. So let's dive in. Today, we'll start by taking a closer look at the roots of real estate in Canada, beginning with the early interactions between Indigenous peoples and European settlers. This foundation laid the groundwork for the complex and dynamic market we see today. As we move through different eras, we'll highlight key developments such as the pivotal role of the Hudson's Bay Company and the influential legislation of the 19th and 20th centuries. We'll also discuss how these historical elements pave the way for modern advancements in real estate technology and urban development. By understanding the past, we can better navigate the current landscape and anticipate future trends. Whether you're a seasoned investor, a first time homebuyer, or simply interested in the evolution of real estate, there's something in this episode for you. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and join me as we explore the captivating story of real estate in Canada. Let's uncover the lessons from history and discover how they can guide our decisions in today's market. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Before we start, I just want to say that there was a lot of research done on housing, affordability, urbanization that was conducted by the government, by legislative committees, and the like. And I really mean a lot. However, today I'm going to go through very high level highlights during this episode. Let's start. The early days of Canadian real estate. With these early days, real estate in Canada began with the Indigenous peoples who lived in harmony with the land. When European settlers arrived in the 16th and 17th centuries, they introduced the concept of land ownership, which previously did not exist among Indigenous. Over time, this led to the establishment of the first real estate transactions. The Hudson's Bay Company, founded in 1670, played a significant role as it was granted extensive land rights, shaping the early real estate landscape. The Hudson's Bay Company, known at that time for fur trade, the company had vast land holdings which influenced settlement patterns and economic activities across Canada. As settlers established communities, land became a crucial resource for agriculture, trade, and development, marking the beginning of a structured real estate market in Canada. Throughout the 18th century, land was often distributed through grants as colonial authorities looked to encourage settlement and economic growth. So basically, lands were distributed as grants. So they were free offerings to settlers who would come to Canada to settle the land and populate this nation. These grants were crucial in shaping Canadian society as they determined who owned what land and how it could be used. As more settlers arrived, the demand for land increased, leading to the establishment of formal land registries and the development of property laws. By the 19th century, the real estate market had evolved significantly, with cities beginning to expand and urban areas taking shape. This period saw the rise of land speculation and investment as individuals and companies anticipated the future growth potential of the various regions of this great land. The construction of railways and other infrastructure projects further fueled this growth, making previously inaccessible areas viable for future development. These early developments laid the groundwork for the modern real estate market we see today. They established patterns of land use, ownership, and regulation that continue to influence the industry. Understanding this historical context is essential for appreciating the complexities and opportunities present in contemporary real estate in Canada. Let's fast forward several more years, and our journey will take us into the early 20th century and the emergence of federal initiatives. So, a period from about 1918 to about 1946. This was a time when the Canadian government recognized the urgent need for federal intervention to address housing shortages. Does that sound familiar? Post World War I, the Dominion Housing Act of 1935 was introduced, laying the groundwork for the National Housing Act of 1944. This act was instrumental in developing a coordinated approach to housing policy, focusing on creating affordable housing options and encouraging urban planning. These early initiatives were crucial in establishing a framework that would support the growth and development of Canada's urban centers. The government's involvement during this period really set the stage for future policies aimed at addressing the evolving needs of Canadians. As cities expanded and populations grew, these foundational acts provided a safety net for those looking for stable and affordable housing. Moreover, these acts underscored the importance of government collaboration with private sectors to ensure a balanced and sustainable growth of urban areas. This initiative not only aimed to meet immediate housing demands, but also sought to anticipate future challenges, ensuring that Canadian housing market remained resilient and adaptable. By prioritizing affordable housing and urban planning, these early measures laid the groundwork for a housing landscape that could respond to changing economic conditions and demographic shifts over the ensuing decades. During this period, there was, as I mentioned earlier, there was a ton of research that was conducted to support many of the initiatives that the government took, and they continued. So let's look to housing finance to urban renewal. So that's the period from about the late 1940s in through to the late 1960s. So as we transition into this mid 20th century, the landscape of housing finance also underwent a significant change. There was the establishment of the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation, also known as CMHC, in 1946, and this marked a pivotal development. The CMHC introduced mortgage insurance, which made home ownership more accessible, particularly for first time homebuyers. This period also saw a focus on urban renewal, with projects aimed at revitalizing the aging downtown areas and encouraging the expansion of suburban communities and improving overall living conditions for Canadians. These efforts laid the foundation for the modern housing finance system and reshaped Canada's urban landscapes. With the backing of the CMHC, Canadians were able to take advantage of more flexible financing options, which spurred the growth of suburban neighborhoods. And this shift was not just about providing homes, but also about fostering communities with improved infrastructure, schools, and recreational facilities. The emphasis on urban renewal during this era was transformative as it looked to address the needs of the growing population and adapt to changing lifestyles. So during this period, there was quite a bit of focus on urban policy and planning. And the Economic Council of Canada annual renewal, which was published in 1967, emphasized that or found that by the 1970s, Canada would have achieved one of the highest rates of increased urbanization in the post war world, which was phenomenal. During this time, we also saw an increase in home ownership rates. Of course, the government put into place tools and opportunities to facilitate home ownership through flexible financing options and affordability. And so the dream of owning a home became more attainable for many more Canadians. The government's commitment to supporting housing development through these financial mechanisms and urban planning initiatives was pivotal in shaping the suburbs that became synonymous with the Canadian way of life. However, due to rapid urbanization and the growing need for more efficient housing solutions in more densely populated cities, the concept of condominiums began to take shape in the early 1960s. The first condominium legislation was introduced in 1967 in British Columbia. This paved the way for a new form of ownership that combined the benefits of private ownership with shared communal spaces. Moreover, this era set the stage for future innovation in housing policy and finance as it highlighted the importance of adapting to economic and demographic shifts. The lessons learned from these urban renewal projects and financial strategies continue to inform how we approach housing development and affordability challenges today, ensuring that the market stays resilient and responsive to the needs of all Canadians. So now we're going to turn to a topsy turvy, head spinning era of disco and the Bee Gees. And one of those their songs that was an anthem for the era was Stayin' Alive. When I was looking into my research with regards to what was happening in Canada or what was happening during this period from the 1970s into 1980s, you saw that there was a lot of economic volatility and significant shifts in the real estate market. And that was seen across the world. And when we look at that song, Staying Alive, and I did some research, it says whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody's shaking, and we're staying alive, staying alive. In an interview, Barry Gibb added that people are crying out for help. It was a time of a lot of turmoil, and this was one of the songs that helped to epitomize what people were truly feeling. He also indicated that everybody struggles against the world, fighting against all the BS and things that can drag you down. And it really is a victory just to survive. But when you climb back on top and you win bigger than ever, well, that's when something everybody reacts to. Everybody is just staying alive. So that was one of the things that was really happening during this era. And I just wanted to set that stage in terms of that turmoil and angst that was going on across the globe during this time. Between 1973 and 1984, Canada as a country suffered through three economic recessions. They experienced the effects of a major energy crisis, high inflation, soaring interest rates that peaked into the early 1980s. All of these factors made home ownership challenging for many Canadians, and we're just staying alive. Additionally, just think within about just over 100 years, Canada transformed from a rural society with primarily agrarian economy to one of where most citizens were settled or living close to an urban center such as Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, where in these centers the economy was driven more through industry, finance, and service based pursuits. However, adversity often breeds innovation. This era saw the introduction of more creative housing financing solutions and policy adaptations, which strengthened the market's resilience and paved the way for future stability. The challenges of this period led to a deeper understanding of market dynamics and the need for even more flexible financial strategies. As interest rates began to stabilize towards the end of the 1980s, homeowners and policymakers were better equipped to manage economic fluctuations, thus learning from that adversity. This adaptability set the stage for more robust housing policies and financial products that would support Canadians in their pursuit of home ownership. The lessons learned during these turbulent decades underscores the importance of prudent financial planning and the value of supporting a diverse housing market. This era's experiences fostered a more resilient approach to real estate, encouraging a balance between affordability and growth. So, as the economy began to recover, the groundwork was laid during these years, enabled a smoother transition into the more stable and prosperous 1990s, where home ownership once again became a more attainable goal for many. So, as we delve into the 1990s and early 2000s, this period marked, as I mentioned, a recovery and renewed growth in the real estate sector. Economic conditions stabilized, interest rates declined, making home ownership more attainable. The market expanded, and technological advancements began to transform real estate transactions. The emergence of online listings, virtual tours revolutionized how Canadians bought and sold homes, and it set the stage for even more digital transformation of the industry that we are seeing currently today. This era also saw a shift in consumer expectations as buyers and sellers increasingly sought convenience and efficiency in their real estate experiences. The rise of the internet provided unprecedented access to information, which empowered individuals to make more informed decisions. Real estate professionals also adapted by embracing these technologies, offering better services and insights to their clients who are more knowledgeable than ever before. This period also saw some additional, more innovative financing options and diversified housing choices, catering to the various needs of Canadians. Urban centers continued to grow, and there was increased emphasis on sustainable development and smart growth strategies, which aim to balance the demand for housing with environmental considerations. As an example, Condominiums as a residential choice surged in popularity coming out of the late 1980s and into the early 1990s. This was driven by several factors. One, urbanization. More people were moving into the urban centers for work, different lifestyle opportunities, and the demand for affordable and centrally located housing increased. Obviously, affordability. Condominiums offered a more affordable entry point into home ownership compared to detached homes, making them much more attractive to first time homebuyers and young professionals. Another factor that influenced this surge was the changing lifestyles. With the growing desire for convenience and amenities, condos provided access to features like gyms, pools, communal spaces, really appealing to a more modern, on the go lifestyle. Overall, the 1990s and early 2000s were a time of noteworthy progress, setting the foundation for our current dynamic real estate market that continues to evolve and both respond to the challenges and opportunities that we're seeing. As we reflect on these developments, it becomes clear that adaptability and innovation have been key drivers in shaping the landscape of home ownership in Canada, paving the way for future advancements that promise to enhance the real estate experience for all of us. So, why don't we look at home ownership in Canada today? We are face to face with a critical yet complex real estate market. Homeownership in Canada is influenced by so many factors, such as the economic conditions, demographic shifts, advancement in technology. All of these are pressures on the current system. For a more in depth review of these factors, please check out my podcast episode number 6, where I go into detail with regards to the 7 components to consider for successful real estate investing. While affordability is still a significant concern, particularly in major urban centers, the market continues to offer opportunities for those who are willing to navigate its intricacies. The current landscape demands a nuanced understanding and strategic approach to make the most of the available opportunities. Each home buyer, home seller, or investor is unique. The strategic approach taken must be tailored to your particular need and tolerance for any unexpected changes in the real estate landscape. The increasing diversity of housing options reflects the changing needs and preferences of Canadians, from condominium living in bustling city centers to spacious homes in suburban neighborhoods, or even eco friendly developments in rural areas. The choices are more varied than ever. This variety allows individuals and families to find housing solutions that best fit their lifestyles and budgets. Technology also plays a pivotal role in today's real estate market, transforming how transactions are conducted and how buyers and sellers interact. There are virtual tours, online listings, and digital platforms have made the process more accessible and efficient, enabling potential homeowners to explore properties from the comfort of their homes. And these advancements not only streamline the buying and selling process, but they also empower consumers with more information, helping them to make more informed decisions, to do their research before they actually go on site to see the property or properties of interest. The focus on the focus on sustainability and green building practices is also reshaping the industry as more and more Canadians are prioritizing environmentally friendly homes. This trend is encouraging developers to adopt innovative construction techniques and materials, contributing to a more sustainable future. In navigating this dynamic market, It's crucial for prospective buyers and investors to stay informed about the trends and shifts. Engaging with knowledgeable real estate professionals, leveraging technology, and keeping an eye on economic indicators can offer the insights needed in order to make sound decisions. Despite the challenges and complexities, the Canadian real estate market remains a landscape of opportunity for those willing to embrace change and adapt to new realities. Homeownership continues to be a rewarding pursuit, offering not just a place to live, but a way to build community, invest in the future, and build generational wealth. So, as we reflect on this rich history of real estate in Canada, it's essential to recognize, as I mentioned, the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Affordability and sustainability are pressing issues. They were in the past, and they will continue to be a challenge in the future, as we see in the current day, as the affordability is one of the key factors that we are dealing with in this current real estate landscape. But they also present avenues for innovation in building practices and policy reform. Understanding trends requires a key eye on historical patterns and current market dynamics. By staying informed and adaptable, you can seize the opportunities that the market presents, whether you're a buyer, seller, or investor. In today's ever evolving real estate landscape, being proactive and informed is more important than ever. As we look forward, embracing innovative technologies and sustainable practices will be key in addressing affordability and environmental concerns. The rise of smart home technology, energy efficient designs, and innovative financing options offer exciting possibilities for future homeowners and investors alike. For buyers, staying ahead of trends means understanding not just where the market is now, but where it's headed. This involves keeping an eye on emerging neighborhoods, new developments, and shifts in demographic preferences. Sellers, on the other hand, can benefit from recognizing what today's buyers value most, such as eco friendly features, digital connectivity, modern amenities. Investors should consider the long term potential of their investments, looking for properties that promise both growth and sustainability. As urban centers continue to evolve, investing in areas that are committed to smart growth and green initiatives can yield substantial return. Ultimately, navigating the Canadian real estate market requires a blend of knowledge, flexibility, and foresight. By leveraging historical insights and staying attuned to current and future trends, you can not only overcome the challenges, but also turn them into opportunities for success in this dynamic real estate market. So, as we close today's episode, I hope you've gained valuable insights into the evolution of residential real estate and home ownership in Canada. As we've journeyed through the decades, we've seen how federal initiatives, economic shifts, and technological advancements have shaped the real estate landscape. It's a story of resilience, adaptation, and growth. This dynamic history not only highlights the resilience of the market, but also underscores the importance of staying informed and proactive. With the right knowledge and a strategic approach, the possibilities are endless. Whether you're a seasoned investor, homeowner, or a curious newcomer, the real estate market holds endless possibilities for those who are prepared to explore and learn. By embracing the lessons of the past and the innovations of the present, you'll be well equipped to make informed decisions that will align with your goals. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep dreaming. If you enjoyed this episode of Real Estate with Nicole, please consider following and sharing with your friends. I'm always eager to hear from you, so feel free to reach out with any questions or topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes. Here's to embracing the future of real estate with optimism and enthusiasm.